introduce Kerry, who is going to be the evaluator for Gurpreet's television speech. Thank you. Silence.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters and Gurpreet. I think you did an excellent job of speaking for television. One of the things that I really noticed and was looking for is whether you were looking at the audience or whether you were staring at the camera, and you weren't doing either of those. You were looking at the camera, you were talking to the camera, but like you would to a normal person. You don't stare somebody down when you're talking at them. You look away, you look at other things, and you really came across very personably on the video, and I'm sure it will show on the video when it comes through. Also, you didn't use big gestures that would be distracting. You did use some hand gestures, maybe a little too much at times, but overall I don't think it was very disruptive. The only couple of things that were distracting, at one point you touched your face somehow, another point you pulled your shirt down, and those were things that would pick up and were noticeable, but other than that, your gestures, I think, were excellent. In terms of what of your objectives and what the objective of your training was, the title said that it was how to use a smartphone to take good pictures. And I think that misled me a little bit when you actually started talking, because you were really talking about tips that would work with any camera. This wasn't just photography for smartphones, it was photography. And I think you might have just retitled it, would take away that confusion, saying something like, you can take great pictures with your smartphone too. And then talked about it, because it sounded more like a how-to. This is how to use the phone. The other thing in that, when you showed how to, you could zoom in with the smartphone, and I know that's true. Two things on that that I've noticed. One is that when I do that, it's very hard to hold the camera steady enough to take a clear picture. But secondly, I'm not 100% sure that every smartphone can do that. And I think unless you are very sure of that, that might not be a tip, or you might want to say that at least on the iPhone you can do this, but make it clear that it may or may not apply to other people's phones. At one point, it looked from where I was sitting, but I didn't have the correct camera view, that you had your phone up in front of your face. You want to look for that on the video to make sure that you're not blocking yourself out of the picture. But I think you did a really good job of organizing this presentation and telling us about it. You gave tips on posing, you gave tips on lighting, you gave tips on composing the picture. A lot of things that were very useful and that would be useful to anyone with any kind of camera. So I think you did a great job. I think it would present very well on television.
Thank you, Kerry.